I see. They're gonna have a bunch of people going in the store. They usually do that when they go in. It's after 10 now, so it isn't. Listen, we'll hear fake coughing in the store too. More fake coughing noises. Still have people doing that now. Actually, it's not after 10, it's 9:24, so straight ahead, this person's going to go in the store here, you can see, because just by the way they're walking really slow, deliberately slow, so I'll see it. He's going to walk in there. Notice he looks over me after staring at the phone. He's going to go into the store and pretend to browse, probably. This area here, notice that, right? As soon as I start moving towards the door, he goes towards the door immediately. See that there? So I think that's as soon as I go towards the door, he waits there and then same thing every time. Here in this area, literally everyone here is a slave who they control. So slaves have to do what they're told. I'm just going to go wait till this person comes out who's standing at the door here. You can see he arrived just as I was coming up here. He goes in there, stands, waits by the door. As soon as he sees me moving towards the door, he then proceeds to go towards the door as well. And then he looks at me strangely as I turn away. Over here. They said they control literally everyone in this neighborhood. That's why you don't want to be in a smart city, or you're going to have to be a part of this nonsense. See that? They're using the chopper tonight. Chopper flying overhead there. Top there. Haven't used that in a while. Check this art display out here, if you could call it art. It's basically all these little puppet characters kind of showing like an occult ritual. You see the way they're dressed? It's like a pagan occult ritual, and it's this whole art display here, as you can see. At Rita Center here, they've got this art display. It's called The Procession. And it's basically a pagan ritual with all these bizarre costumes they have. Just normalizing that. You can see the horned costumes there, and then that one there. It's kind of really weird and dark looking. The Procession. But it's interesting. There's a photo out there, and you know, there's those who will say it's not real. I can't say for sure prove it's real, but I'll wait till you go past her. So basically, there's a picture of Obama dressed up in a horned costume that's almost identical to that, very similar. And he's like grinning, and some guy's got him on like a chain, and yeah, it's like. And so they have an art display of just normalizing like those occult pagan rituals that these weirdo psychopaths take part in. I suspect that picture of Obama in that costume is real, but of course the media is going to say, oh no, that's conspiracy. Well, how did it get out there then if it's, you know, like, I mean, obviously they wanted people to see it so they can then That's part of the trick, is they'll put the pictures out themselves, and then when people start to share it and, you know, show what's going on, then they'll say, oh no, it was photoshopped or whatever. I highly doubt that. There's no way of proving for sure, but it looks like Obama in that costume. And of course, he's part of all these inbred families too. He's related to Alistair Crowley, Obama, actually. Many of them are actually, you know, cousins, and it's all inbreeding with these elite families. And they all pretend to oppose each other when they're on the same side. Same thing with Donald Trump and Mark Carney. They're all on the same side. It's just an act, for those who don't know, if you don't know that by now. If you saw my video entitled July 29th to August 2nd, 2025, CSIS Harassment and Stalking Campaign Documentation, you may remember this individual in the picture here. This is the CSIS surveillance role player / stalker who was sent specifically to follow me from where I get on the bus normally in Ottawa and travel all the way to Hull, Quebec. Wait for me to get off the bus, waiting outside of the store that I went into, and then proceeding right over to the place directly next door to the house where I live, and standing out there waiting until I arrived. And then he looks at a phone just as I arrived and went in. Again, purposefully sent literally to stalk me, going right next to the house where I live, following me from where I was getting on the bus, and then waiting outside and standing right next to the house, the place directly next door to where I live. And so you will have seen that if you watched the video that I just mentioned there. So this individual, again, I had noticed that CSIS was regularly starting to send him to stalk me and follow me. So I avoided getting on the bus that he was getting on, and for a few days they continued to send him, and they would purposefully have him walk up right next to me and stand as close as possible to me as possible, as possible, at the bus stop where I was getting on. And so to make sure that I saw the stalker, they'd tell him just to walk over next to me, then get on the same bus. So I would wait and let him get on the bus and not go that way. Yesterday I had kind of forgotten about it, and so he showed up again, and they sent him to get on the same bus as me. I didn't notice him actually at the time. And then when I was about to get off, I saw, okay, again, it's the same guy, because just as I was about to get off the bus, they had him do a fake coughing noise, which is like, or like a fake throat clearing noise, contrived sounding. And that's one of the sensitizations that they tell these stalkers to always utilize. They'll do it over and over again, consistently everywhere I go. And typically it's right when they're near you. They'll do that. It's a sensitization so that the subject of the harassment will know it's purposeful. So in the video you're going to see, just as I'm about to get off the bus, you'll hear this CSIS stalker make a sort of a contrived coughing noise right as the bus door is about to open. And then he gets off, and they were going to have him do the same routine, but I noticed him right away, and he walks really, really slowly, staring at a phone, obviously checking for instructions on his phone and kind of glancing over at me, because they wanted to time it so that he would stand right outside of the place next door to where I live and probably enter just as I arrived again. So I filmed the stalker again, and that's him there. CSIS uses him to follow, stalk, and harass people. And there's no question either that this falls under the category of criminal harassment, because it's clear that he's purposefully being sent to follow me and stand right next to the house where I live. You'll see him do that again here, but this time knowing that I'm recording all of it and I'm fully aware of it, and that they know that I had uploaded previous documentation of this stalker doing the same thing. They sent him to the house, but they didn't have him wait right until I got there. So you'll see the stalker again. Take note of how just as the bus door is about to open, the stalker makes a fake contrived sounding throat clearing / cough sound. He goes just as the bus door is about to open. That's a sensitization. They tell them to do that all the time. And you'll see that here. got that on camera. Is that same guy? Yeah, it's the same guy there. Who followed the other time. This time he's getting. And on this side, same guy who they sent to follow previously, to follow me. I'll show you. He's just gonna here now. He's probably gonna go over to that place. I'll show you from this side here. Yeah, he's walking towards that place next door to where I live. You see, they sent him to follow me again. Same stalker who I showed in the other video, who was standing in front of the place next to where I live. Watch this. Notice the act here. Okay, check it out. So they sent him to follow me from the same location again, from Rideau Center, and they're gonna have him go stand in front of the place next to where I live. Just watch it. Just getting out here. Just want you to see it. Now notice how slow he's walking. Continue looking at the phone. So he's going to go stand in front of that place, or go into that place that's right next door to where I live. Which is technically it's a retail place, but there's also some units in there where people live around the back, where they're renting it out. So they've sent the same guy again here, as you can see, same stalker here. That's where I live, right over there. He's been told to stand there. He got off right when I got off too, and you could hear it's whether it's him or someone else made that fake coughing noise right as I was about to get off. So just take a look. I'll show you here. Notice the way he's walking too. It's really slow. Looks at the phone every time. Now what they've probably told him to do is to stand there until I come over. I was going to go into the store here, but they've probably told him to stand out in front of there. Last time what they had him do was stand in front, staring at the phone, then right when I got there, right when I was passing, he then went into the place, so that's in there. Maybe he got off one stop before, but he wasn't on the bus where I was, so you can see that's the same guy there. You can see him at Rideau Center there and getting on the bus. Wow, when the Barcelona. Now they told him to just stop here, so I see him standing here. So that's what you got to do when you've signed onto your slave agreement. No freedom here. Yeah, same guy there. So this is where I'm going in on the right here, and he's standing here, as you can see. Now, notice the time. Notice the time. Watch. Now he's going in, right? Yeah, he was at Rideau Center, and he got on the same bus as me as well. And I sent him to follow again. I got his face on camera the other time there. I'll just show you where he's going. Now notice how slow he's walking too. So they're supposed to time this so that he waits out in front there for when I come over. But he has to keep checking the phone because they're going to give him instructions. Okay? I just want you to see this. So that place, see where it says Unidome right there, that sign there. That's right next door to where I live. He's going to go and stand there. He's going to go and stand out in front there. Okay, now I'm going to go into the store. We'll see if he's still standing out there when I go in, or if they tell him to go in. But yeah, again, he was sent from the same location. Stalking biker here too. Sent from the same location to follow me from Ottawa right into Hull, coming right to where I live and standing right next door to where I live. Let's see if he goes there. Actually, let me just show you before I go into the store, because I was going to go into the store here. And they got a stalking biker pulling up there as well. Just watch from here. So that's what I said. It's that store. See the sign, the blue and white? Yeah, and he's standing there. Look, exactly what I said, right? Is he just going to go in this time, or are they going to have him stand out front? Let's take a look. Last time they had him wait there until I came, and right as I came, no, this time they just told him to go. Now that's right next door to where I live. So they sent him again. The guy that was on the bus there, that's the same stalker who they sent the previous time to follow me all the way to where I live. And then they had him standing out front the other time. I've got his face on camera. I'm going to put him online again. I didn't notice him there. That's why I got on the bus with him. But they've tried to send him to follow another time, and I purposefully didn't get on the bus that he was getting on. But I didn't see him there today, so they sent him again today. So he'll be on Twitter again, and he'll be in a thumbnail as well. And just gonna go in here. I think I saved his face in the other videos too. One that I had. I'll have to look. But either way, that's the same guy. You could see it. Same thing. follows me from there. Just as I'm about to get off, too, you could probably, with him, they have him go make that fake coughing noise. So I think it was him that did that as well. You could hear that just as I'm about to get off the bus. So that guy's not a man. A man doesn't do things like that. A man doesn't have people telling them on the phone where to go and stand. A grown adult man is enough of, should be enough of an adult to actually do things on their own, but that guy's not. So, but I saw him a number of other times. They would send him to stand right next to me again after he did that the previous time. And I intentionally avoided getting on the bus because I knew they were sending him to follow. He went into the house, that place, the 417, right next door to where, he went into that location right next door to where I live. Part of it is a retail establishment, and I think there are residential units around the back there as well. But they're just sending him to go in there because it's right next door to where I live. So I'll see it and see him following me directly from where I'm going there. And this is multiple times. So we're going to put him up online with Daniel Rogers' face from CSIS as well, because he's the one sending him to do that, to follow me and harass me.
It's also important to note that this is the second time I have documented CSIS sending this stalker to do the same thing. So this clearly does constitute stalking and criminal harassment, as we can ascertain that it's obviously purposeful that he's being sent to do this, based upon what I've previously shown and based upon my 4 years of documentation of CSIS sending people to do these same sort of harassment assignments. So it's also important to note that it's Daniel Rogers, who's the director of CSIS, who is sending these people to follow me, to harass me, and to follow me literally right to the house where I live and stand outside of the house. And so it's Daniel Rogers, the director of CSIS. This is him in the picture here. He's one of the people who's orchestrating these criminal harassment campaigns, openly breaking laws and engaging in criminal harassment against law-abiding, hardworking Canadian citizens, while he simultaneously facilitates the drug trade, enables organized crime, and cons people into doing things like this. Now, I don't bear any ill will against this individual per se, because I think that he's just being tricked into doing this, right? He's being given something. He's been told some type of lies and slander about me by the people involved in this operation and by Daniel Rogers and CSIS. And these are the criminals involved in criminally harassing law-abiding Canadian citizens in this country, also heavily involved in ensuring that hard drugs get into the country. And that's all done on behalf of the Crown, by the way. You can see the Crown symbol on the CSIS logo, and CSIS completely controlled by the Crown, and it's Daniel Rogers at the top of this organization. At least that's what they tell you. He could just be a front man and a face that they put out there. But again, he's a front man for organized crime and for criminal harassment. And he's the one who is involved in orchestrating these harassment activities against me. Here you will see more clips of the continuous noise campaign and incessant harassment that I am subjected to while I'm at my workplace and I'm trying to do my job. Since I have been working at this location for the past 2.5 years, CSIS has been regularly sending criminal motorcycle gangs to continually drive back and forth in front of my workplace all night while I'm working, to subject me to continual noise harassment and to threaten, harass, and intimidate. They send people to honk their horns just as they pass my workplace, and the Ottawa police and paramedics are also sent by CSIS to continually drive back and forth in front of my workplace. While Daniel Rogers and CSIS work with criminal gangs, drug dealers, and corrupt police to terrorize law-abiding citizens, they are also active in facilitating the distribution of hard drugs all throughout the country. Because Daniel Rogers and CSIS rely on inversion, lies, and deception for everything that they are involved in, anyone who speaks the truth about the crimes of these psychopaths or about the drug trafficking Freemasonic police becomes a target of their abuse and harassment. The footage you're about to see is just some recent material with regards to the harassment and continuous noise campaign that I'm subjected to while I'm at work. Daniel Rogers and CSIS send these people to do this because I'm working alone, and they know I'm sitting right by the window and I can see all of these motorcycles driving by. And also they know I'll be subjected to the extreme noise all throughout the night while I'm working. So they pay these people to continually harass me, blaring their horns just as they drive past my workplace, the police blaring sirens and driving back and forth in front of my workplace to harass, threaten, and intimidate me. Also paramedics being sent to drive back and forth and set up fake calls at my workplace all the time. And then the criminal biker gangs who are also involved in drug trafficking are sent to continually drive back and forth. You'll see they usually drive past my workplace one way, and then about 5 minutes later they'll turn around and come back and drive back the other way. And that's just to continually subject me and everyone else in the area to this incessant extreme noise. And so that's they're also sent by Daniel Rogers and CSIS, and they do this to other people too in Canada. This is just one of the routines, but the noise campaign and the continual harassment of these criminal thugs and biker gangs have been reported by other people as well who have spoken of being subjected to CSIS harassment campaigns, such as Roderick Russell, who speaks very credibly in the video he has on YouTube, which I've also shared. So these are just some brief clips. I have so much material. I could put hours of this stuff up, but this is just some recent material here that you'll see in this video of the continual harassment, attempts to intimidate by these drug trafficking criminal police and the drug trafficking criminal biker gangs who they allow to operate their drug distribution businesses, and the people working to destroy all freedoms and democracy in this country. Many of these people, as well, it's important to note, are Masons, the cops, these criminal drug trafficking biker gangs, and all night I'm subjected to this while I'm trying to do my job. So those are the caliber of people that you have in those positions. And CSIS and Daniel Rogers use the absolute dregs of humanity as well. Drug addicts, people who are working to ruin the country by selling these hard narcotics, violent criminal thugs to attempt to harass and intimidate, while he simultaneously lies about literally everything his organization does, while claiming they're trying to protect Canadians from fake, non-existent terror. So that's what Daniel Rogers and CSIS do to me while I'm simply trying to do my job each night. And here are some of the clips here. Again, these are just short clips. I have hours and hours of material, years of material of them doing these same things to me. And these same criminal organized stalking biker gangs have been harassing me and following me everywhere I go for 4 years in 2 different provinces and 3 different cities. So here are some of the clips here.